Previously on the Midnight Channel. This is one of those Fox costumes that I alluded to the last time we were in the TV. Kanji's persona invented sumo wrestling. I love that Kanji's default weapon is a chair. Whoops, Kanji's still on dumb AI. Somebody needs to crit this thing. That was a great first fight from Kanji. Rainy Sister 3 drains physical fire, elect, and wind, nulls light and dark, but it's weak to ice. Oh no, old man attack!
That was cool!
I may be old, but I can still dodge. Oh, ow, my back! Ah! Oh god, those eyes! Holy whoa, okay. No old people for you today. That's a weird sentence. Once again, old people cannot participate in all-out attacks. And now... I'm starting in the Velvet Room this time, but I want to do most of my fusions later when I'm at least level 31. And for that reason, I definitely want to keep Legion, because you're my quickest ticket to this thing with Rampage. But I would like to get rid of some of my other lower level personas here, so let's see what we can make out of them. Unfortunately, there's not much new that I can make with Oberon. And while I'm here, I just thought I might as well show something. So, I haven't fully explained one aspect of Fusion yet. I'm sorry, I just never really got around to this. There was just so much else to talk about. But the way that the results of Fusion are determined with a normal spread. Basically, every Arcana plus another Arcana equals a third Arcana. I don't have any of these memorized, but if you're playing the Vita version, what you can do is you can press the PS button, go out of the game, and open the digital manual. And on almost the last page, here is a chart of how the fusion results work in a double spread. If you're playing the Steam version, you can just find one of these on the internet, but it looks pretty fancy in this, and yeah, you can get this open without even needing to quit out of the game. So if I fuse these two, I can get Incubus, who I'm not really sure I really need at this point. Fire is actually a decent thing to have coming up in Risei's dungeon, but I prefer something else here. So with Andra, who has a lot of good skills, plus Shisa, I can make Titania and pass down Invigorate 2 and a bunch of debuffs, which is not terrible, but yeah, Titania can't inherit fire. Titania is also immune to ice. Just note that, because it may be important later. Mabufu, Zionga, that's 3 elements, and Invigorate. I'd like to keep Resist Physical, because I think we're soon going to encounter the card that can do things with that. But I also really like these debuffs too. Okay, you know what? I actually have an easier way to get quad elements on something right now. Sarasvati and Yaksini gets me Lamia. Lamia has Agilao, and unfortunately passing down quad elements will use up all of your skill slots, which means I can't give you Resist Physical or Invigorate 2, but it's probably worth it. So, Garu, Bufu, and Zio. There's 4 elements. That's really all I wanted. And Lamia is also kind of a nice persona to have quad elements on because she has no weaknesses. And a nice immunity to dark, too. I can actually make Lamia and Gorgon right now. I often get them confused because they're pretty much very similar in concept, but they are 2 completely different personas. Poison boost. That's actually alright. Oh, actually, this thing is almost tailor-made for the mini-boss of Risei's dungeon, I just realized. And with that, now I can go for Titania, and I can afford to give you some more debuffs and supportive skills. So, I guess Resist Physical, Invigorate, and, Sukunda, and Rakunda. Having a debuffing persona that's immune to ice will also be useful later on. So Titania's Empress in this game, I know she was Lovers in P3, and she's Lovers in a lot of other games, so she tends to kind of change. And unfortunately not that much of an increase, but we'll get Empress up soon. So I can get Gunga now, but I might want to fuse her later. Gunga is extremely good for the boss of this dungeon. Drain Ice, and you won't need to worry about that Dark weakness because they don't use Dark. You might notice that a suspicious, and look at this, Gorgon nulls Ice too. Unicorn also nulls Ice. So, you might notice that a suspicious number of personas that are available around this point are immune to Ice. Let's just say there's actually a reason for that. You know, I could buy back Legion and get Unicorn in the Compendium. I think I'll actually do that. I kind of like the idea of Unicorn with Mudor. Just realized that I'm effectively making it King Sombra in that way. Dekunda isn't terrible. In fact, the boss of this dungeon does use debuff, so that's not a terrible idea. Oh look, Undine also drains Ice. Also Power, another persona of the Justice Arcana, and you have armor and a shield. Why is your endurance so bad? Oh hey, there's Mothman. Mothman's actually pretty popular, but weak to Ice. That's not what we want. Repel Elec is pretty solid though. Mithra, also immune to Ice. And here's Take Minakata, a persona that I really don't like because it's weak to both light and dark, which is a terrible idea on the protagonist. It's also the arch enemy of Take Mikazuchi, Kanji's persona, so that's another reason to not like it. Okay, I guess we've got a few new skill cards for her. Okay, I still have Resist Physical on a decent number of things. And use SP is looking kind of low. I might need to restore that a bit. Oh yeah, I have plenty of Snuff Souls. And for the second half of the dungeon, I think Yosuke has had a lot of screen time already, so let's swap him out for Chie. And while she's here, I'm going to give Chie the, well, I'm going to show her conversation for the Gang Summer outfit, and then I'm going to give her the Kung Fu costume. The mismatch is what makes it even better. Okay, so, something may have happened last, but it might have been a blessing in disguise because my first encounter here is a hand.
Come on! Take this! 2 enemies! Charge through them!
I just noticed that Chie's, summer outfit, she has the coat that she normally wears tied around her waist. That's pretty cool. How are you not dizzy yet? There we go. Everyone has turned old but you. Old man rush! Oh. Now everyone's an old man!
I let my guard down.
Yeah, that's basically what innovation does. At least we got one of them.
Congratulations, Sensei!
So at level 30, something important happens. We can now hold 12 personas, and that's where things end in terms of our persona stock. It's why doing a second playthrough or a new game plus, it often makes things kind of confusing because I'm used to having 12 personas all the time because you actually hit the limit pretty early in the game. So here we've got a very interesting room. We have some party members that are just hanging around here. Whoever you didn't pick at the start of the dungeon will sometimes be found in rooms. So if we talk to Yosuke here... Yosuke... Anyway, if we encourage him... we get a random item. But the one that interests me the most is the talk option. Because if you select this, party members have unique dialogue based on where their social link is, and also based on what other party members are in the room with them. For example, this only shows up if the fox is in the room, which is random. And if the fox is in a room, you can also ask for healing here, but I don't feel we really need it. So these conversations are very, very interesting, and it's very easy to, like, there's no way you'll see all of them in a single playthrough because they depend on having party members at very specific social link ranks for them to, like, fully comment on each other's dialogues. And there's even some with Teddy that you can never see in normal gameplay because of the way that his social link progresses when it comes to the story. Like, there's a point in the game where his social link ranks up twice before you have a chance to go back to the dungeon. And so there's no way to see his, I think it's rank 5. Like, there's no way to see his rank 5 conversations alongside a certain other party member because it's actually impossible to have them in your party when Teddy's at rank 5. So these things may or may not have caused an unfortunate incident last time I was here. They're not weak to anything and they're strong against physical, and they can blow up, like all dice enemies. So yeah, that's fun. I like to use Hammer and Mudo on them because, you know, they have no weaknesses and they're not resistant to those things. Speaking of which, I do have Curse Papers, right? Because Curse Paper, yeah, it's the equivalent of Mudo On, which is the much more effective version. I think it's like 60%, or... it's a pretty decent chance. And against enemies that are weak to it, it's almost guaranteed. Okay, I can take Ikusa, or... yeah, I'd rather take Ikusa. I think it's called Yomotsu Ikusa in some games. Oh, there's Fire Break. So that's kind of an interesting skill because it's... I said in Yukiko's bio, it's unfortunately kind of mandatory, and that means... okay, I don't think I really need Dia right now, so I can probably get rid of that. I'm going to need to reorder her skills, though, because they're a complete mess right now. You can reorder party members' skills at any time, I think, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, you can press square here to reorder skills. Yeah, that's probably a better setup. Yukiko learns such a variety of different types of skills. That is a creepy name for a fan for Yukiko, but especially considering this dungeon. But when you've got a party member like her who learns a variety of different skill types, their skill set can often get hard to manage if you don't reorder them into a order that makes logical sense, so I like doing that sometimes. For everyone else, like, the order they learn skills is usually around the order you want them to be in the moveset anyway. And I don't think we've actually seen you yet.
Hang in there. It's not strong at all. I'm sure you can win.
I knew Teddy was going to say that even before he did. So these things tend to be weak to fire in most Persona games they appear in, but they're weak to wind here, so this is a good opportunity to try out Titania. Just realized I have Oberon and Titania here. You know, I kind of wish there was like a unique fusion for Oberon and Titania. You know, I just realized that I think Robin Goodfellow / Puck is in some SMT games. I don't think he's in any Persona games. It would be really cool if he was. In fact, he'd actually make a pretty nice party member Persona, honestly. I'm going to quickly look that up. Oh, no Assault Dive, that's not good. Yeah, these things hit really, really hard. I'm going to just burn these things, and then I'll look that up. I like the way that their ball and chains float away like a balloon when they're on low health, and according to Persona Q... you'll already know this if you watch my Persona Q playthrough, but if you haven't, according to Aigis in Persona Q, the ball and chain is where that Shadow's actual brain is. The lion is just an appendage. Which is pretty creepy, but I kind of like creature designs that are like that. It's kind of like the Millisaurs in Xenoblade Chronicles X, where... I'll just go ahead and heal you for now. Where the long neck is actually just like a trunk, and their real head is somewhere different that gets revealed after you destroy the fake head. That actually worked out pretty well. And that gets me Trafuri, which is, honestly, it's not that bad at this point. Recalm. Yeah, Unicorn doesn't really get a lot of good skills in most games it's in. And speaking of games things are in, from looking up, I actually found out Puck is in Persona 2. Both Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment, and also Shin Megami Tensei 2. And those are the only games he's in. Like, in the entire SMT multiverse.
This is one tough enemy.
No, okay, that counts as a sweep bonus. Even though I get no bonuses. So, I wanted to check something. The dice from earlier could have dropped something called an iron lump. Do I have that? Oh no, silver lump. There it is, silver lump. So, that's needed for a later side quest, and I knew that would be a shadow. Like, I just had a feeling that would be a shadow.
There are 2 enemies. Hang in there.
Have we seen this thing yet? I don't think so.
Do your best.
If you look closely at the flower, you'll notice there's an Empress Arcana mask in there. But these things have no weaknesses at all, but they're also pretty weak, so you can just rush them down usually.
Yuki-chan's in danger. Help!
Or they hit stupidly hard, despite being weak in turns of HP, and there's Yu-Gi-Oh's Focus Sash going off.
Fix it.
I won't lose.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go rush mode here, because I need to heal.
There we go.
Well, at least we're not gonna get automatically hit by attacks.
It ain't going down.
Note to self, never use rush against unfamiliar enemies. I forgot how hard those things hit. Oh, that gives me enough for a sweep bonus as well as 2 bonus stats, nice. See, Empress, getting rid of one of the cards in your hand is a blessing in disguise. Like, it's effectively a 2 more at the cost of losing 1 card. Well, that was probably worth it for a Snuff Soul, but as I was saying, we need this item for a later side quest, but it's not one of those, like, side quest specific droppable items, as you can tell because I got it now, despite not having the side quest for it. It's a material, so be careful when selecting the sell all materials option from Daidara, because we have to not sell that. Do I dare? I think I dare. There's another item like that later on.
You weren't expecting us. You can win this. Do your best.
That item comes from an enemy called Sky Balance that shows up later in the dungeon. But anyway, large basalts. These things are weak to light and dark. Which is kind of convenient because those things are also weak to light, so, well, taste friendship! For some reason, that was a Crimson Shadow. I mean, I'm guessing those things hit incredibly hard if you let them hit you, but, well, I didn't let them hit me, so... does not matter at all. And I'll just go ahead and take everything. Yeah, no items, but that's fine. I didn't really need the drops from those things anyway. And we have Rakshasa. Jazz Hands. Didn't reference that the last time we got Rakshasa, but, yeah, for those who don't know, that's a Critical Role thing. So, floor 7, I believe, is a special one. Remember when I said at the beginning that this might be a Fog of War dungeon? Yeah, I wasn't actually kidding. Oh, Teddy. Teddy, yeah, let's just, let's ignore him for the moment and be very careful here because we can't see enemies coming. But this is a fixed layout floor, and your mini-map definitely helps you see where they are. Obviously, this door is going to be important later. Hi there, Shadow. Did a preemptive shovel strike there just so that it didn't get a preemptive on me. As I'm exploring this floor, I can talk about one thing that I've wanted to say. You might notice that Yuno Okami has been doing most of the heavy lifting in fights at this point, and I feel like that kind of becomes a running theme from now on. And I was talking before about how the protagonists are kind of like sort of Magikarp power. They start off fairly weak, but they snowball pretty quickly. And this is because the number of skills that you pass down in Fusion is based on the skills of the quote-unquote parent personas. So because of that, as you start fusing personas, your personas will get better and better, and eventually the protagonist will get some incredibly broken skills. Oh, that thing.
But they're too slow. It's not strong at all. I'm sure you can win.
Adamant Beetle, if I remember right, yep, it repels physical, so, and it has no weaknesses otherwise, and the Killing Hand, if I can find it on my notes, there it is, it's weak to physical, okay, so that is interesting.
You knocked it down! Go, Sensei! You knocked it down!
Persona!
Good work, Sensei! That's one so far!
Come on!
Well, this is gonna be fun.
Chie-chan is swatting.
Well, that thing didn't actually die. Well, it's gone now. So yeah, you may notice from now on that the other party members won't get as many chances to fight in normal battles. We'll make up for it in boss fights. Oh yes, level 31. Been waiting for that. Because speaking of the protagonist having overpowered personas, yeah, bosses at least are much more of a team effort, and I do feel like Persona 5 kind of fixed the issue of the protagonist juggernauting most fights from, like, the mid-game on, in that the baton pass system means that the protagonist can give their turn to other people, and so you get more chances for the rest of the characters to shine.
3 enemies.
I am not underestimating babies again. That is a weird sentence.
Keep going. Wonderful, Sensei.
Oh yeah, and they drain ice.
Underestimate me? This is what you get.
I see, I want to equip Hypixie for the SP regeneration, but on the other hand, I kind of want to equip Ares just in case I get another Emperor card, because that will give Ares power charge. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the moment. So yeah, progressing through the dark strip club. One thing I'll give Persona 4 is the dungeon themes are actually very, very interesting. And while you are exactly like Fog of War enemies in most games, and you cheated and saw us before we could see you. Well, I mean, I guess they have night vision. Maybe. Oh no.
I smell 3 enemies.
Oh, that's really bad.
Can you stand? It's no war of it.
Yuki-chan's health is too low. Fix it.
Come on! Christina!
Yuki-chan's hurt. Hurry and heal her. Kanji's in danger. Hurry, heal him.
You know what? Let's show you what ponies do best, running away. Never thought I'd really need that, but I'm not going to take my chances. So while I'm here, something else that I wanted to talk about with Risei's dungeon, because I kind of already got most of what I wanted to say out of the way in the first part, which I wasn't expecting, is, this is going to sound weird, but I'll tie it into things, the Persona 4 fan-made musical. Stop throwing babies at us! Oh, actually, you're new.
It's not strong at all. I'm sure you can win.
Forgotten Hablari is weak to electricity. It's been a while since we've seen a new Hablari enemy.
Enemies. Let's get through this.
But I guess if this is a new enemy type... Oh, wow, those babies are freakishly fast. That's another weird sentence. For some reason, dungeon exploring in Persona just tends to lend itself to strange sentences. Well, at least you hit the one who resists that. Or dodges it entirely. Because, yeah. But the Persona 4 fan musical, so it got a cease and desist.
That's one so far.
Possibly because there's already, like, a lot of official Persona stage shows. But in terms of what I think of it, like, honestly, there are actually only, like, 2 or 3 songs in it that I really like. I actually think the song they did for Shadow Yukiko definitely misunderstands a lot of her symbolism and issues. But I will say, Shadow Risei's song in the fan musical is actually very, very good. Like, I think it fits Risei, it fits her shadow, and it actually sounds pretty good. It's like kind of a, sort of a, has a bit of a pop song vibe to it. It definitely works, and that's one of the songs from it that I do really like, and it kind of makes sense with, you know, Risei being an idol and all. Now, I have a suspicion this door is, yep, this door is important. No, we're not ready for you yet. No, we are not. We're going away. We're going away and exploring the rest of this floor first. Although, we're going to have to backtrack any... Actually, no, that's not on the backtracking route. Yeah, let's explore this section first, because this is a fixed floor, so I'd rather map out the whole place. Did I just hear a shadow squeak or something? But yeah, Risei's... So much for exploring more of this place. That was completely pointless. But yeah, I'll talk more about the musical after I've gone through this, because as you can probably tell, we have a mini-boss coming up, and as I already hinted at in the Velvet Room, said mini-boss really does not like Lamia. So we're going to equip Lamia for this, and in terms of everyone else, is our health okay? Our health is mostly fine, I think. Let's just heal you up a little bit. I think I'm okay on SP right now. You probably want Yukiko in your party for this too. There's those horrifying eyes again. You thought it was Shadow Risei, but it was me, Snake!
One enemy ambushed you. Hang in there.
It always gets the first turn, and it always uses stagnant air.
You can win this. Do your best.
The gimmick of this fight is very simple. The Amora Snake will increase your ailment susceptibility and then try and poison you with, its big I think it's like Blight or something. With its physical attack that also inflicts poison. But if I'm remembering right, this thing is weak to fire. And I have a persona that nulls poison, so Yu's pretty much set here. It doesn't take a lot of damage from fire despite the weakness, but let's see how much this does. Yeah, about the same as the fire did. Yeah, there's Virus Wave. Heavy damage to pretty much everyone and inflicts poison, and with the ailment susceptibility up from, from its skill, that hurts. But I'm going to go ahead and Tarukaja Yukiko. And you're going to go ahead and Agilao it and then use your one more to heal.
It's down.
We have heart.
Yeah, I just realized that, like, I was like, wait, why are you only doing about as much damage as you did? But then I realized, oh right, you also have Tarukaja thanks to his weapon, so yeah, you're both roughly the same level of attack power.
Just one enemy left.
Still down. I forget if this thing is vulnerable to Dizzy or not. but I get the feeling it might not be. I could allow it again, but as long as the, okay, let's see. You're strong against physical. I would kind of like to debuff you right now, and I do have resist physical on Titania, so let's go for you, and I would honestly rather do this. I don't want you, like, I would like you missing a lot more than you currently are.
It got back up! Hurry and beat it!
Yeah, virus wave again!
Just one enemy left!
I could say things about this fight, but I won't.
Couldn't quite beat it.
It's kind of resilient, too.
Dangerously low.
Persona!
Yes, everyone is dangerously low on health, except for you, Narukami, because he's amazing.
You are the leader.
And, well, yeah, that was kind of an answer to that statement. But no, I'm gonna Medea everyone here, even though it might not really help all that much, because Medea is still not great in terms of healing.
Kanji's poisoned!
Tell me something I don't know, Teddy. Honestly, I kind of would like to Rakukaja Yukiko. Enjoy this while you still can, because Kanji doesn't learn the higher tier defense buffs. But this can be useful sometimes, like if you've got somebody who you really, really don't want to go down. Sukunda, Yukiko will die to another attack, although she is defense buffed. Do I debuff you, or do I would kind of like to heal Yukiko right now. Don't really need anything major, just a life stone will do.
Thank you.
Although I probably should have equipped Lamia if I was going to do that, because now I'm no longer immune to poison.
Hurry and beat it!
Yeah, it always puts up stagnant air again whenever stagnant air wears off, and that's basically a waste of a turn from it, so... yeah, I actually think I'm going to go ahead and, Buffing Kanji might not be a terrible idea either. So now I'll Aguilau you. Once you know this thing's weak to fire, you can quite easily get it into a loop.
Let's attack. You are the leader. Persona! There!
Alright, poison lowers your physical attack as well, so
It ain't going down.
yeah, Kanji's not going to be doing a ton here.
Persona.
Well, let's put your defense down so we finish you off faster. Because it's definitely going for Virus Wave this turn, and Kanji might go down to that, we'll see. No Mind Slice, that's
Just
silence.
one enemy left!
But yeah, honestly, I don't know which is more dangerous, that or, because Kanji and Chie can just smack this thing with physical. Getting Yukiko silenced is also very bad, though.
It's down!
Okay, that much, and
Never mind
then...
then.
I think I'm getting a bit greedy here, but I'm gonna Aguilau you again.
Chan, you hit its weak spot!
No longer poisoned and I'm attack buffed. I don't think I'll be able to eat through that much HP right now. Especially since I can't even kill rush. Well, due to his massive amounts of HP, those things are more effective on Kanji than they are on other party members. I have Diorama. And maybe I should actually use that on Chie. Yukiko can always take care of the damage. Okay, you having your hit and evasion reverted is bad, and there's that. And it missed a lot of people anyway, because of course it did. That makes sense. It misses more often without the debuff on.
It's down!
You are the leader.
Unfortunately, I need to use Yukiko's one more to heal here. Definitely helps your healing in this fight that the one main healer in the party also has the boss's weakness. Yeah, I should probably just kill Rush. Is this your first turn attacking this thing when you're not poisoned? Oh, it's very close to being down. But I don't want to mess this all up now. But let's go for fire.
some, Sensei! Go, go, go!
And one more hit should finish it off. And it's wasting its turn using stagnant air. I'm just gonna rush. Or not. Well, you can finish it now. Burn the snake!
Now,
There it goes.
Shall we move on? Have I gotten a little stronger?
Perfectly fitting that you leveled up out of that. So... no. We need to keep going to rescue Rise. But in this, we get a life stone. I feel like... Is that... I'm pretty sure that's fixed. Because if that was actually like a guaranteed shadow ambush, that would, like... In all seriousness, that would actually be pretty funny. Okay, I'll see you when I'm back at that one other door that I didn't open. Okay, here we are. There isn't that much further to go in this place. Ah, hi there. Long corridor, and I get the feeling this is going to lead to disappointment, because I know it's a door. Leading to another, corridor. Okay, at least there's a chest here. Well, that one was an ambush.
You hit its weakness!
Let me do it!
Oh, yes. It works on hands, nice.
Chie-chan's really hurting!
Well, I knew that there was a certain specific hand that it definitely works on later in the game, but forgot that it also worked on the gold hands. But I mean, it works on every basic enemy that isn't, like, because it's actually physically based. So as long as the enemy doesn't, like, null or repel physical... Oh, I don't want you using Swift Strike. I really don't want you using Swift Strike.
Come on! Take this!
Woohoo! Chie-chan!
And there's Swift Strike. At least I have Resist Physical on. I'm going for Magaru instead of Garula here because I feel like Garula might kill it and I don't actually want to kill it.
Come on, don't be a killjoy.
Well, I mean, that thing was a literal killjoy. Let's revive these two, otherwise they'll miss out on the hand experience.
Just one enemy left!
Oh, great. If I let you get up, you're gonna Swift Strike again, and Chie honestly needs the experience from the hand more than you feel, but oh well, let's do this. Just to be safe. If I get a 1 card, I did get a 1 card, no money. Well, it is gonna get me that, and I think I'll take that. So, yeah, Chie is going to miss out on quite a lot of experience. I don't think we've actually seen a tower card before, but yeah, it gets rid of all the money you would win from the battle. Which would otherwise have been quite a lot, but...
You did it, Sensei!
Level up on you,
Power for me.
on Kanji, and, Yukiko didn't even level up anyway. How close was Chie, by the way? Extremely close, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, she'll level up without hands anyway. So I suppose while I'm here I can talk a bit more about the Persona 4 fan musical. So... Oh, that's not great. Yeah, if I die here, I reset the floor, and that actually resets the mini-boss as well, so I am going to find the exit first, and then I might come back, and I'm pretty sure that's also a dead end. So yeah, let's just keep going. It's not worth fighting that red shadow to risk potentially losing the mini-boss. Because now this curtain actually opens, and we can get through. Well, it might be a representation of how much she just hates all those questions about her life. I'm gonna do this just in case I get an Emperor. Did not get an Emperor, but I could get an Emperor out of this. Ah, no. Multiple chances there, but no Emperor. Oh well. It's kind of sad because I'm losing my last chance for Ares to, I was going to say prove himself useful to me by getting Power Charge, because I'm at the level to get Osei, who starts with Power Charge, so I'm actually not going to need it very, very soon. But the Persona 4 fan musical, there's one other song in it that I really like, but I can't talk about it yet because it's huge spoilers for way later in the game.
It's our turn first.
Rank 6 coin card, that's pretty great. I think I'll grab King Frost and then I'll take that. Level 3 skill cards are usually not very good. The skill card, shuffle time cards don't really give amazing stuff until much later into the game. It's really like the really, really high rank skill cards, but if you pick them up wherever you get the chance, then you have more of a chance of getting that card collector trophy / achievement, which is, I still think, and it really says something, that in a 100 plus hour JRPG, that is nearly impossible to get on a first playthrough. Stupid curtain. Are you gonna fall over? Oh, there's another, like, there's a non-hand shadow in here. That was a really, and it wasn't even a preemptive. There's 3 of them at least.
Monster! Beat the stuffing out of it!
Lay down and die already!
I knew it. All 3 of them ran. And another enemy.
3 more enemies! Grin and bear it!
And it's a baby. That's going next. Goodbye. Yeah, bye. Not gonna deal with you.
Persona!
Who would have thought that the baby would be by far the scariest enemy in this dungeon? Back to the Persona 4 musical, I feel like a lot of its songs, especially the, this feels really mean, but I feel like you can definitely tell that many of them are sung by amateurs, particularly some of Yosuke's. I actually do kind of like Yosuke's, like, song after his shadow fight, where, he realizes his friendship with you. I think it's just called Partners. That's, that's a pretty good song overall, but a lot of them just don't sound like they're sung that well, and I understand why they're done for copyright reasons, but a lot of them, like, sound fairly generic and don't really sound like they're tied to the game that much. There's only one melody from the game they actually do use, and it's one of the more obscure ones that comes from a very late game dungeon. Like, if there was a real Persona 4 musical, you'd expect there'd be a lyrical version of I'll Face Myself in it at some point. No Emperor again. As far as, I know this is a bit of an overly narrow superlative, but as far as fan-made musicals based on video games go, I personally prefer the Ace Attorney fan musical. I actually think a lot of the songs in that are pretty good, and for some reason, so I know that a lot of Persona 4 is quite over the top and sort of dramatized, but I feel like it just doesn't really fit being a musical to me, for reasons that, I guess it's a lot of the things that are grounded in reality to it, like the whole ordinary high school aspect of it and the kind of country town. That whole thing just doesn't really gel with the inherent over-the-top nature of musicals, I feel, whereas I feel like Ace Attorney just fits being a musical so well. Like, everything about that universe fits perfectly. It's hard to describe, but if you haven't listened to any of the songs from the Ace Attorney musical, like, that's entirely fan-made, and I don't think has been hit with a cease and desist, I would recommend it, because, in particular, I think Red White's it's based on the first game, by the way, and it pretty much adapts the entire first game, not even cutting down Turnabout Samurai, which is something a lot of, adaptations do. I think that was a piece of armor in Persona 3. But yeah, it's female only, and oh, that's interesting. That's very good for you. And I guess while we're here, we can show what the Harlot's Mercy is. Oh boy, that accuracy is not good, and No additional effect and better physical attack on Yukiko. That's a great trade-off. I also realized that I forgot to equip the Kung Fu outfit on Chie. This is what it looks like. It's actually a costume exclusive to her. And if we talk to her about it... Thing is, when I think of ancient Chinese warriors, I think about the ones that are made of clay. But yeah, Red White's villain song in the Ace Attorney musical is great. Manfred von Karma's is really good as well. Just, there are a lot of, I like the way that they handled a lot of the aspects of that game, and, I think they actually did perform it once. I think it's pretty long, because again, it adapts the entire game and doesn't cut down Turnabout Samurai at all. But it sounds like it would be kind of fun to watch. There is like an official, I think it's a Takarazuka one, Japanese one, that weirdly uses the American setting. Huh. I wonder if Yu Narukami fits that criteria or not. And more of Teddy's issues being brought up. We're almost at the end, so let's just keep pressing on. There are a few new enemies that can show up on these floors, so, you are a big shadow, which means you're strong relative to me, which means you might be one of these. Okay, then. Champion Knight.
Strong at all. I'm sure you can win.
Maybe representing the more zealous aspects of Risei's fanbase. Champion Knight, let me see. It is, no weaknesses and resists physical. I hate enemies like that. And for enemies like that, I say eat curse paper.
Great, Sensei! Go for broke!
And let's just continue to smack that hand. I don't really care too much about Kaiwan when it's not a skill change day, so I'm kind of glad that it turned into something there. Because it's weak to physical, which, like, its gimmick is supposed to be that it uses Tetrakan to kind of trick the AI into going for its physical weakness and then getting their attacks repelled, but... yeah, overall I don't find it's really all that worth it. You have to expend a ton of SP every turn on Tetrakan.
Lay down and die already!
Uh-oh. I think there's a decent chance you'll be dead before you get a chance to use that, though. I used my last curse paper on that thing and it missed, so that's also annoying. I'll take 2 more, and I'll take new cards, but I wasn't on... okay, I wasn't on Ares, so if that turned out to be Emperor, then I would have been kind of angry. At least we got Nozuchi via Shuffle Time. It's a persona that I would not have really wanted to fuse myself because it's weak to ice. As you can see there. But at least we have it for the compendium now. I am going for 100% compendium completion on this playthrough. You might as well if you're going for a max social links run, because... Silver Spoon... luck by 3, okay. Yeah, I had a feeling it was some kind of a lucky item. But yeah, you can only unlock certain personas if you max out social links, so you might as well... what is the Crimson Shadow up here? Oh, I think I remember this thing.
You can win this. Do your best.
Oh, yeah, I don't like this thing at all. No weaknesses, and it has over 500 HP, and I think it has some very scary skills, too. So, probably best to try instant deathing it, but I don't know... I mean, Unicorn always gives me the opportunity to bail on it, although I'm running out of SP for... Trafuri's relatively cheap, I think. I may have just enough for Trafuri now. Please kill it. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, no, I'm not going to risk that. It's just, I don't want to fail this late into the dungeon, and... yeah, the experience is probably not worth it compared to things like hands. And nothing I've fought here so far, of course it's a dead end, is a sky balance. I would kind of like to see us, you know what? Go away, please. This should be, I think this place might actually have 12 floors now I think about it. Something tells me that it might actually have 12. This is either the last or the second last floor, but I know that sky balances start showing up around now, and that's another enemy that we need its Daidara drop. So if we get it, we need to make, I think we need 3 of its drop, which I think is fashionable dishes. So if you get some of those, don't sell them to Daidara, you need them for a quest. Still going, please give me... Like, there are kind of tells as to where the stairs are when it comes to the, like, overall geography of this dungeon. It's not quite as obvious as some other dungeons, but sometimes you can kind of tell, like, the stairs usually come after a big straightway. Like this. Yep, there are the stairs. No, it was 11. Okay, we're at the end of this place, and that's good because we're gonna head back. Because, guess what? It's time for another rerun. We have some unfinished business in Kanji's dungeon for both side quests and, an optional boss that's thankfully nowhere near as bad as the Contrarian King, so I'll see you next time for that. The Midnight Fail Channel! Sadly, she does not say, "Are you ready?" before attacking. That's a Nocturne thing.
Barely a warm-up.
That looks even better with the moustache. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a real man now, I have a moustache! Prepare to taste friendship! Oh well, everything here is weak to Hummer, that's, and also, prepare to taste evil friendship! Yeah, that was a pretty efficient use of SP, I think. Oh, that would have been better on Ares, though, because that would have got me power charge. Because despite that very good magic, High Pixie is weak to ice, which, as you can probably tell from what I've been saying a lot of recently, that's not going to be what we want for the boss of this place.
Two enemies! You can attack before them!
Soda!
Oh, I knew that would happen. Please don't kill me.